So, good day everyone. I am Therese May Magnayon, and today we will be talking about the economic and socio-cultural context during the 19th century. So, the second half of the 19th century was a period of rapid economic growth. But before that, let me define first what is economic growth. So when we say economic growth, it can be the increase or improvement in the inflation adjusted market value of goods and services produced by an economy in a financial year. So, according to Adams 2006, in Europe, the use of increasingly expensive, powerful, and productive steam engines resulted in the use of machinery in the manufacturing sector in the cities of Europe. So, in this period, in the Europe, it is known as Industrial Revolution. So there is a huge variety of new tools and machines were first introduced during this period. So atin munang balikan ang nakaraan nito upang mas lalo nating maintindihan kung ano nga ba ibig sabihin ni Odense 2006. So by the 16th century, deforestation in England had led to a shortage of food for fuel. So that's why they invented the coal-fired steam engine. And it became a major alternative energy source and soon became the key technology of the Industrial Revolution. So, ito nga pala yung Industrial Revolution. So the steam engine swiftly became the standard power supply for European industry. It powered machines used for factory productions. It emerged freed manufacturers from the need to locate their factories near sources of water power. And the large enterprises began to concentrate in quickly growing industrial cities. So doon nagsimula ang pag-evolve ng Industrial Revolution at ang economic growth. So ito yung Suez Canal. At dahil nga sa kanilang technological innovation, kagaya ng tools, ships, and other type of machinery, mas maraming product ang nagagawa nila to trade. At dahil doon, ang mga gobyerno at tao sa ibang bansa mas naging malapit sa isa't isa. So, ang economic growth at industrial revolution ay mayroong napakaraming positive effect. At dahil nga they're looking for more places to trade, ito na yung time na they constructed the Suez Canal. Ito yung nasa picture. So it takes more than 10 years para mabuo ang Suez Canal. So the opening of Suez Canal is November 17, 1869. It is an artificial sea level waterways in the world, paved the way for the Philippines' direct commercial relations with Spain instead of via Mexico. So before its opening in 1869, goods were sometimes offloaded from ship and carried overland between Mediterranean and the Red Seas. So, Suez Canal is important because it is the shortest maritime route from Europe to Asia. So, the opening of the Suez Canal also brought several advantages to the Philippines. So first is the distance of travel between Europe and the Philippines was significantly shortened. Second, it brought the country closer to Spain. Third is it significantly reduced to 30 days. So before the canal's opening, the travel from Spain to the Philippines would take more than 2 months. However, upon the opening of Suez Canal, it was significantly reduced to 30 days. So this positively affect the development of agricultural exports which brought economic prosperity to native Indios or the so-called ilustrados. So I will explain later what is ilustrados. So, what is then the implication of the Suez Canal to the Filipino during that time? So, after the opening of Suez Canal, the Philippine economy has been improved, resulting in financial support for the National Party, which provides incentive and promotes nationalism among Filipinos in order to continue their quest for independence. So, ang isa sa mga economic development brought by industrialization is first, the Filipino ilustrados were able to send their children to university in Europe. So, ano nga ba ibig sabihin ng ilustrados? Ang ilustrados ay isang salitang Pilipino at Kastila na may kahulugang isang taong nakabatid ng kalinawan at kaliwanagan. Sa madaling salita pa, sila yung mga nakaangat sa lipunan noong kapanahunan ng mga Kastila. Sila ang mga panggit ng klaseng mamayan na nakapag-aral at nabantad sa mga ideya ng liberalismo at nasyonalismo mula sa Europe. So the education gained by these ilustrados opened their minds to the opposing conditions that are happening in the colony, which is the Philippines, and the mother country, which is the Spain. So, doon nila nakita kung paano magkaiba ang pamamalakad ng Spain sa Pilipinas at sa lugar ng Spain. So, Filipino ilustrados witness how the mother country enjoy freedom, free from bias, injustice, and racial discrimination. So, colonies suffer from maladministration of justice committed by its incompetent and corrupt government official. So, samantala, ang colony, which is ang Philippines, suffer from maladministration o maling pamamalakad sa justice, which is mababasa natin sa novels ni Jose Rizal. Yung biglang dinakip o naakusahan sa salang hindi naman nila ginawa. Dahil mas may power ang mga official at lalong-lalo na ang mga pari dati na mas pinaniniwalaan. At dahil doon, they organized propaganda movement that aim expose the deplorable condition of the Filipinos in the Philippines. So, they organized propaganda movements, which is the activists of the group of Filipino who called for political reforms in their land in the late 19th century and produced book leaflets and newspaper articles to educate others about their goals and issue they were trying to solve. And one of the prominent members include Jose Rizal, the author of novels of No Limitang Here and El Filibusterismo, and Garciano Lopez, publisher of La Solidaridad. So next is socio-cultural context. So the 19th century also brought socio-cultural changes in Spain and the Philippines. So the first changes that the 19th century brought is the rise of the Enlightenment period, where people began to rely on human reason rather than faith and religion. Information through books and print media began to spread across the sea. So this period is the discovering the truth that they were introduced by the scientific revolution. So this enlightenment emphasized reason over superstition and science over blind faith. So mas naging open-minded sila sa mga nangyayari na kung dati lahat ng mga sinasabi ng pare kahit mali ay pinaniniwalaan nila. Ngayon, hindi na. Naging bukas ang kanilang isipan through information sa books and print media na nag-spread across the sea. So the political and social development of other countries also reached the Philippines. So this is the time that the Filipino came to enjoy for the first time the sweet taste of liberal regime. So it is a liberal regime rather, like freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, and other human rights. So the 19th century Philippines saw the rise of middle class. The Principalias, with the increasing demand for abaca and other crops in Europe, there was need for more Filipino people to cultivate lands. So, the rise of the middle class is also a birth of the middle class. So, merong lima na social classes in the Philippines. First is the Peninsulares, which is the Spaniards born in Spain nga pumunta sa Pilipinas. Second is Insulares, the Spaniards born in the Philippines, which is ito yung mga half Pinoy at half Spaniards na pinanganak sa Pilipinas na itinuring nilang totoong Pilipino. So, the third is middle class, which is the Spanish mestizo and Chinese mestizo or mestizos de sangle. Fourth is Chinese that migrated in the Philippines. Five is Indio, Malayan inhabitant in the archipelago, which is the Filipino. So, the more na pagtaas ng pangangailangan ng abaka at iba pang mga pananim sa Europa, ang mga Pilipino ay nagbungkal o nagtanim para matustusan ang pangangailangan ng ibang bansa, which is may nangyaring export. At dahil doon na ang modern methods of agriculture were introduced sa mga Pilipino. And Filipino also acquire material wealth and improve social life.